you and Neri become. A log thingy can you soar up. The Neri become, for engineering become. A log you and engineering become. Veneri become. Engineering become. In Neri become. You and Neri become. Engineering become. A log you and Neri become. You and Neri become. How would your life change if you stopped chasing? Imagine waking each morning not driven by the relentless pursuit of success or validation, but instead anchored in the quiet strength of contentment. What if you could release the weight of expectation that clings to your shoulders, suffocating your joy? As you navigate through each day, you might uncover the haunting echoes of your past ambitions, whispers that remind you of what you thought you needed. Would you dare to confront these shadows, or would they continue to dictate the rhythm of your life? Embrace this moment. The answers lie within. If you stopped chasing, this simple act of halting the relentless pursuit can be an unsettling thought. In a world where you're constantly told to strive for more, to reach higher, and to never settle, the idea of pausing can seem almost radical. But what if the endless chase is the very thing that's keeping you from true fulfillment? Perhaps, in the act of constantly seeking, you're caught in a cycle that promises much but delivers little. Most people never question this pursuit. They live their lives as if on autopilot, driven by goals that seem to perpetually shift further away. You might feel this too, a restlessness, a nagging feeling that no matter how much you achieve, satisfaction remains elusive. Schopenhauer had a word for this. He called it the
hedonic treadmill.
The what the Noyadov Saltsist Prustigo, where the faster you run, the more distant the destination appears, Iver Mikurslut. And here's what's curious. The more you chase, the more you feel trapped, as if in a never-ending race with no finish line. But then consider the alternative. Picture a life where challenges are embraced not for some distant reward, but for the growth they bring in the moment. This isn't about giving up on goals or ambitions. It's about redefining success to include the path itself, rather than just the destination. Sound familiar? The examined life, as Socrates suggested, isn't about having all the answers. It's about asking the right questions. And perhaps the most important question is, what are you really chasing? Now stay with me. Carl Jung, in his exploration of symbols and the unconscious, suggests that much of what we chase is a reflection of our inner worlds. The symbols of success, wealth, fame, achievement are often projections of deeper, unacknowledged desires. By understanding these symbols, you can begin to see the difference between what you think you want and what you truly need. Most people never notice this distinction, but you will. Suddenly, the idea of challenge takes on a new meaning. It's no longer a barrier to happiness, but a gateway to understanding yourself. When faced with adversity, instead of asking,
Why me?
perhaps you might ask,
What can I learn from this?
the gewist I improve Shane and what I force he would later become, and that changes everything. This shift in perspective is subtle yet profound. It transforms obstacles into opportunities for self-discovery. And yet, there's a quiet voice inside that resists. It whispers doubts and fears, urging you back to the safety of the familiar chase. But here's the paradox. True safety lies in embracing the unknown, in stepping into challenges with an open heart. The very act of facing what you fear is what frees you from it. Maybe that's the point. Reflecting on this, you might see how the path of least resistance often leads to a place of stagnation. But choosing the path of challenge, of intentional growth, leads to fulfillment that is deeply personal and uniquely yours. You've probably felt this before, a moment of clarity after overcoming something difficult, a sense of peace that comes not from the absence of struggle, but from its embrace. As you continue to ponder, consider this. Some people spend their entire lives running from discomfort, only to find themselves trapped by it. Maybe you're different. Maybe you'll choose to stop chasing, to look within, and to find that what you've been seeking has been with you all along. And so, the invitation remains open, not as a conclusion, but as a beginning. What if for once you stopped running? What would you discover? Only you can answer that. And in the quiet spaces between thoughts, Perhaps you'll find what truly fulfills you